Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot.
Apex Legends. Yes, the game that was supposed to compete with Fortnite to be the best and most played game on the entire planet, but unfortunately it never really lived up to the hype. This game is better than Fortnite. I mean, it's a really good game, but Fortnite is just far too big. Now, to be fair, Fortnite is in its 10th season and Apex is only in its 2nd season, so that might explain why. And also because of their little mini modes that Fortnite does, so like the Avengers modes. Apex doesn't really do that. It's just normal, it's just a normal battle royale game. But if you wanted to start playing Apex, what would be the best weapons? What would be the weapons that can get you W after W's after W's? What would be the guns to get you kill after kill after kill? Well, that's why I'm here. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Crimson, and today I am counting down the list of the top 10 best weapons on Apex Legends, alright? These are the weapons that when you pick them up, you are going to do serious damage if you know what you are doing. If you see any weapon in the top 4, pick it up at all costs, because those weapons we'll get onto later are going to be the ones that do the most damage. And for me, they are some of the best weapons in the entire game. So without further ado, let's get right into it. At number 10, we have the RE45. Now, it's technically the weakest weapon in the entire game. Alright, it only does 16 damage to the head and it only does 11 damage to the body. But don't be fooled, alright? The reason why this weapon is so good, this pistol, is because it's rapid fire. Yep, that's right, a rapid fire pistol, alright? If your opponent has level 1 body armor, this gun will shred through that armor. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, it's so easy to use as well. I mean, there's virtually no recoil whatsoever. There's virtually nothing holding you back with this weapon. It's easy to use, it's easy to master. Yeah, it's just, for me, a top 10 weapon in this game, and nobody really thinks about this weapon, which is why I put it on this list. But here's a side note, I would only use this as a secondary weapon. I would not use it as a primary, I'd use it as a secondary, because as a primary, it's not so great. I mean, the primary is supposed to be the big gun, the gun that you need to rep with. That's your main weapon. I won't consider it to be your main weapon, but a side weapon would be perfect. Which is why I put this at number 10. In at number 9, we have the Devotion. Now, I never thought I'd put this weapon in the top 10, alright? I mean, it's easy to aim, it's super accurate, virtually no recoil whatsoever, to be honest with you, and it's just easy to handle, and it can get you kills up right off the bat as soon as you start using it. Now, it does the job, alright? It does 34 damage to the head and 17 damage to the body. Now, bear this in mind, you start off with 35 rounds. 35 rounds. That's insane. And that's at default. I mean, if you had level 3 extended mags, it would be pushing at least 45 rounds, at least. And in a weapon like this that is not weak at all by any means, for me this weapon is just the weapon of choice in my opinion. And if you pick it up, you will enjoy using it. But however, there is one LMG that we will get to later that outclasses this gun. No disrespect to this gun's amazing, and if you pick it up, happy days. But there is one LMG which I'll get to later that puts all the LMGs and most of the weapons in this game to shame. In at number 8, we have the EVA 8 Auto Shotgun. Now, this gun, a lot of people don't like using it really. I mean, it's not the best weapon. I mean, there is a more powerful weapon of this type. Yeah, spoiler alert, it's a shotgun, which for me is better, which again I'll get onto later. But don't underestimate this weapon, alright? This weapon is, for a beginner, it's such a good weapon. Like, it's an amazing weapon. It does 90 damage to the head and 63 to the body. That is a powerful weapon, alright? And it's an automatic shotgun. So you'll be having a lot of fun with this weapon. I mean, it's easy to aim, again, it's accurate, and yeah, it's just, for a beginner, it's really easy. If you're wearing level 1 armor, this gun will rip through that armor. It will absolutely annihilate it, and you can even annihilate level 2 armor if you're really good. But this weapon is just insane. I mean, it's just a fantastic weapon. And yeah, it's more than deserving of the number 8 spot. In at number 7, we have the Alternator. Now, this weapon is not really that strong, okay? And I wouldn't recommend you using it without an aim attachment of some sort. However, if you get an aim attachment with this weapon, this gun becomes insane, alright? Especially the digital threat attachment. It only does 19 damage to the head and 30 damage to the body, so it's only a little bit better than the RE45. But like I said, with the attachment, and with all the extended mags, which can bump it up to about 26 rounds at max, this weapon at close range combat is a joke. It becomes borderline a joke. I mean, if you're going up against somebody who has this weapon, there's a good chance you will get fucked up immediately. Especially if you're wearing level 1 armor. You need to be wearing at least level 2 armor. Well, minimum level 2 armor if you want to survive. If you get all the top attachments on this weapon, like I said, it just becomes a complete joke. It's insane. I mean, this it could have gone a bit higher, really, to be fair. But there is weapons in this game that are better, which is why I put it at the number 7 spot. In at number 6 now, this one was really tough, alright? I was debating between number 6 and number 5. I think this was the hardest decision I had to make, but here's what I've gone with. Bear with me, alright? And at number 6, we have the R99. Now, it could have gone higher, but there's a weapon, in my opinion, that I prefer over this weapon, but it doesn't mean that this weapon's bad. Again, with the digital threat attachment and another attachment, well, other attachments helping you aim, this weapon is just, again, a joke, especially at close range combat. Now, it only does 18 damage to the head, and it only does 12 damage to the body, which is really not that strong. In fact, it's weaker than the alternator, which is a surprise, but it's rapid fire. Just like the alternator, it's rapid fire, but this one has more rounds. For some reason, it just feels like it does more damage than it suggests. I mean, the stats really, it doesn't really, I mean, when you look at the stats, you just think, no, it's weak. When you use it in game, it's strong. Like, if you can aim accurate with this, which is not easy, by the way, considering the fact that this gun is quite uncontrollable, which is why I said you should use the aim attachment. If you know how to use this weapon, and you can use it effectively, it becomes one of your go-to guns on the entire game. I will go that far to say that, because it's just insane. The damage in game, you just feel like you're doing a lot more than what the stats actually suggest on this weapon. But take nothing away, I know it could have gone higher, but at number 5, it was tough, alright? Number 5 was tough, but let's get right into number 5. Number 5, we have the HEMLOCK. Now, I was going to put this in the honorable mention section, which I'll get to later, but when I used this weapon, almost immediately came to the realization that this weapon is honestly one of the best in the game. You don't even need an aim attachment on this weapon. It's that good. Like, you can use it at close range combat, medium range. I know it's an AR, but like, it's so easy to aim on this weapon. It's just so easy to aim. I don't get how it's so good. It does 34 damage to the head, and it does 18 damage to the body, which is good, to be fair. I mean, it's almost the same as the Devotion. I think it does a little bit more than the Devotion, but again, it's a free burst AR, which you think, okay, it's great. It's not the most easy to control gun in the game, but take nothing away, this weapon is just, it's insane. Like, in game, it's just a joke. It's not the most overpowered, but if you see this weapon and you don't see any other good weapons, just pick up this weapon until you find a better one, if you find a better one, because I promise you, you are going to have so much fun with this weapon. I mean, trust me, you will be having the most fun you've ever had. Here's where it gets serious now. Here's the weapons that when you see them, just pick them up, alright? Drop what you have, just pick up these weapons, alright? Because these weapons, they're on another level to the rest of them. So in at number 4, this was also a tough choice. I could have put this at number 3. It was hard. For me, it was the hardest decision to make on this list, but I'm gonna go with, at number 4, the triple take sniper. Oh my god, there is a more powerful sniper called the Carbine in this game, but because it's a legendary, it's almost impossible to find it, but it doesn't matter. It does more damage, like I said, but the triple take, for me, is my go-to sniper on this entire game. For me, it's my favorite sniper. It's just insane. I mean, it's so easy to aim. It's so accurate that you don't even need an aim attachment on it. Like, you can just roll with it standard, and it will still do damage. Speaking of damage, wait for it. It does 138 damage to the head and 69 damage to the body. Now, put that into context, even someone with level 2 armor would barely survive this weapon, if not survive this weapon, because this weapon can rip through armor like you wouldn't believe. Like, with the Carbine, the bullet dips slightly, which is why I don't tend to like it, and I've not really used it that much. But with the triple take, I mean, I don't need to. Like, the triple take, for me, is just my go-to sniper, and it's just not going to change. I mean, this gun is just a joke at times. If you have an attachment on it, I'm sorry, but I feel sorry for your opponent, or I feel sorry if you go up against somebody who has this weapon. I feel sorry for you, because the chances of you surviving are highly unlikely, which is why it's number 4. You know, it could have gone higher. I would have put it at number 3, because it really does deserve to be in the top 3. I mean, it's an amazing weapon. I could have put these two as a tie before I'm 3, but it's a top 10, you gotta go with it. So, that's number 4, even though I was thinking about it, it could go number 3, but anyway, in at number 3, we have the Peacekeeper, the most powerful shotgun in the entire game. Now, it's not an automatic shotgun like the EVA 8, but the damage it doesn't matter. I mean, this, for me, is one of the best guns in the game, without a doubt. especially at close range combat. I mean, this gun rips through armor like a cat rips through somebody's coat. It's just a joke of a weapon. It's easy to aim. With attachments on it, it becomes almost overpowered. It does 165 damage to the head and over 100 damage to the body. Over 100 damage to the body. I have no words. Literally, just thinking about the stats, I have no words. This weapon is just a joke. If you have all the attachments on it, it just becomes almost overpowered, alright? This shotgun is easily the best shotgun in the game. Actually, scratch that. It's actually not the most powerful shotgun. The Mastiff is actually the most powerful one. I don't know how much damage that does. I think it's over 170 maybe. But the Mastiff is a legendary like the Kraber. So it's almost impossible for you to find it. But if you do find it, grab it. Alright, it does more damage. But for me, the Peacekeeper, if you're a first time player, or if you're a player that wants to get kills, I get the Peacekeeper. I mean, you'd more likely find it anyway, and it will just do bits. It does absolute damage. But number 2 and number 1, oh my god, oh boy, oh freaking boy. Number 2 is the M600 Spitfire. You know what, that's all I'm going to say, it's the M600 Spitfire. I mean, this could have made number 1. It is one of the best weapons I have ever used in any game that I remember playing. Any shooting game, any battle royale game, this for me is one of the best. You know what, you can have level 3 armor, it doesn't matter. This gun melts through any armor you have. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. In the hands of a pro player, this pro player with this weapon can clean out the entire lobby. That's how far I will go with this weapon. Stats wise, it does 40 damage to the head and 20 to the body, which you think, could do more, but trust me, oh no, do not be fooled by the stats, alright? This weapon, it can down enemies in seconds. It's rapid fire, obviously, as LMGs are in this game, but it is so easy to aim. At standard, you have 35 rounds. At maximum, you'll have over 50 rounds. Over 50 rounds. Right, I'm sorry, who's gonna survive against this weapon? Like, how can you survive against somebody with this weapon? You don't even need to be a pro player to just bury people with this weapon. It's a joke. There's virtually no recoil in it whatsoever. It's insane. It's one of the best weapons I've ever used. For me, this is a benchmark on this game. But there is one weapon that for me eclipses every single one on the entire list, including the Spitfire. And that says a lot because the Spitfire, it could have made number 1. In fact, it deserves to be at number 1. But there is one weapon in this game that takes unfair to an entirely new level. In at number 1, oh boy, we have the R301 Carbine. You know what? I'm almost ready to walk out because just talking about this weapon just makes you want to walk out. Without a doubt, the best weapon in the game. Without a doubt. Forget the Spitfire. Oh no, yeah, I'm saying it. Forget the Spitfire. I told you how overpowered the Spitfire is, but forget the weapon. If you see an R301, pick it up. I don't care what weapon you have. You can have a Spitfire, a Peacekeeper, or a triple take. Pick up the R301 if you see it. It is the most devastating weapon. In fact, you know what? Even at default, it is borderline overpowered. Even at default, with all the standard, no attachments, no nothing. But if you crank this up to at least level 2, in terms of extending mags or standard stock or barrel stabilizer, if you go anywhere beyond level 2, 3 words will spring to mind: overpowered, devastating, and broken. Because at level 3 this weapon is broken, it's overpowered, it's devastating. No one will survive against anybody who has this weapon. Even at level 2, man, you don't even need level 3 attachments. Even at level 2 it's broken. It's so accurate that you don't need an aim attachment at all. Just roll with it without an aim attachment. It does 28 damage to the head and only 14 damage to the body, making it relatively the weakest AR in its class. But in game, it's for me the most powerful. I mean, I know it doesn't make sense, but imagine a weapon where the stats are low, but in game it feels like it's doing about 10 times that damage. That's this weapon. For me, this is the best weapon in the game, without a doubt. But anyway, honorable mentions time. The VK47 Flatline is the first honorable mention. It does 32 damage to the head and 16 to the body, which is alright. So for a newbie who's just started playing this game, if you want to get better, you need to use this weapon because it's so easy. There's no recoil, there's just nothing, like nothing holding you back with this weapon at all. I mean, it could have gone in the top 5, but there's just the R301 just outclasses it, and the Spitfire. Especially the R301 though. If you had the choice between the Flatline and the R301, you'd easily go with the R301. Like easily, there's just no doubt at all. It's just the best weapon in the game. I can't stress enough. I'm supposed to be talking about the Flatline, but I'm talking about the R301 because just talking about it, it puts the biggest smile on your face. That's all I can say. But then so does the Flatline. I mean, it's a brilliant weapon, and I do recommend you giving it a go before you can actually get to grips with the game. And also, another honorable mention goes to the Prowler. Now, it does 21 damage, should I say, to the head, and 14 to the body. Now, I won't use this as standard, alright, because I don't think it's that great as standard. But if you have an aim attachment on this weapon, it becomes a weapon that you should definitely use, because it's a good weapon. I just think the RE45 is better. Does less damage than the Prowler, but I think the RE45 is better. So, but yeah, the Prowler, yeah, it's a pretty good weapon, you know. It's easy to aim, but it's not the easiest to control. But when you have all the attachments, level 1, level 2, whatever, I'd say level 2, this weapon becomes a force to be reckoned with. Like, it can do damage to your opponent. It depends on what your opponent's wearing though. But overall, for me, it's a big positive with this weapon, and I just can't see it getting any worse than that, really. But anyway, that is it for today. If you want more videos like this, just slap a like. If you want to send me ideas on what videos to do next, leave it down in the comments below. Or if you want me to react to stuff, just let me know in the comments below as well. Just whatever you want me to do, I'll do it, alright? But anyway, it's been your boy Crimson. I've enjoyed making this video. It's probably my favorite video I've made. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.